Hi everybody, and thank you for joining me today. So, I moved the frame yesterday, working a bit more on sky, but we're coming up to the garden wall soon. So we'll have some new colors soon to stitch with. I'm probably going to follow the curve of the garden wall again, like I did last time, since it kind of goes opposite the diagonal that I usually establish. I just find it easier to just follow it, especially when it's bigger blocks of color. So we will see when I get there. Not quite there yet, so. Yeah, it's another extremely smoky day. Gloomy out there. Unfortunately, yeah, to do my workout inside this morning because I don't want to be breathing that in more than I have to. Yeah, cannot wait for this fire season to be over. They say it has been Canada's worst in history since the 80s. So. Yeah, although like I say, I won't complain too hard. All we've had to deal with is smoke. It hasn't come close enough for us to worry about evacuating or anything like that. So we do have it better than a lot of people who were not so fortunate. Okay, just gonna check the other one. Okay, that's a full length piece. Okay, if it was just a short one, then I would have carried this piece over to park below it, but since that's a long piece, I'm going to end this one off once I do these 2 stitches. It's more efficient that way. Yeah, when I have multiple threads, then I have to check. Let's see what I want to carry where. Yeah, I had to turn my crafting lamp on to get enough light in here. Got my drapes pulled back all the way, but there's not much natural light today, unfortunately. Yeah, I tried stitching downstairs in the rec room for a while, but I needed a lamp, and all the light was coming from the lamp because there's like no window in there. Yeah, because my husband wanted it to be like dark in there like a movie theater, and yeah, it's great for watching movies, not so good for stitching. So yeah, I had us put a TV up here in my living room where I can get natural light to stitch with, because that's really the best for your eyes, causes the least strain. Okay. Oh, pardon me. I actually slept okay last night, but I don't know, still kind of yawny today. Yeah, so we haven't had any frost since that one morning. That first one, just enough to kill off the last of people's summer gardens if they didn't prep for it. Okay, I'm gonna unthread that because it's gonna be a while before I get back to it, I think. So yeah, this is a bigger block, but I'm kind of splitting it up here for a bit. Do a bit of this, and then I'll come back up and to the top and do some more. Yeah, the bunny that usually visits our lawn has not been back for a while. We saw him running down the street the other day. We were driving somewhere a couple blocks over. Actually, silly thing, he kept darting back and forth across the street. I was nervous that someone was going to hit him, but thankfully nobody did. Yeah, people generally stop for him. well, there's more than one. I was driving once and there were two of them, and people from both directions stopped to let them cross. Nobody wanted to hit the poor things. Yeah, I say bunnies, but I'm pretty sure they're hares because they're big and they change color because they said bunnies nest underground and hares nest above ground, so they turn white in the winter so that they can camouflage in the snow. So yeah, when my son was little, he used to say the bunny was eating snow and that's why he turned white. So I used to bug him to say, you know, in the spring, is he eating dirt and that's why he's turning brown again? Okay. Oops. Just kind of give this a little twist with my fingers when it starts getting twisted up like that. It used to drop to untangle, and I still do that sometimes, but I find now that I'm used to it, I can give a little twist to the needle and unwind the thread rather than having to drop it. Kind of keeps my rhythm going a little better. Saves me a little time. Okay. Do a bunch here before I change colors. Yeah, so I may work again a wider swath across a couple of diagonals at once. We'll see. Like I say, I don't plan that far ahead. Yeah, I used to kind of sit there and really diligently plan my paths and then find that when I actually was stitching it, I'd change my mind anyway. So yeah, I just stitch and go with it. Yeah, so my husband has another couple of trips to make before the snow flies, hopefully. Yeah, like I said, it's all the maintenance trips and stuff that have been due since 2020 and have been put off for as long as they possibly can be, but yeah. There's only so much stuff he can fix remotely. He had to go to one the other day because the transmitter kept going off air, and he'd remote in and there were no faults. And yeah, when he went there, it turned out what happened was the fan that keeps it cool was not working, so that was why it would run for a few hours and then it would go off air because it would overheat and shut down. And then once it cooled down, it would kick back on again. And because there's no actual fault with the transmitter itself, yeah, it wouldn't show up in the logs because it wasn't an equipment failure. It was overheating. Yeah, and it doesn't show that. So yeah, unfortunately, that was something that could not be fixed or even diagnosed remotely. He had to, because he had someone who was who lived in town where the transmitter was, go and, you know, push buttons and everything, and yeah, they couldn't replicate the error because, of course, the problem was that it was too hot. So yeah. Yeah, those things get pretty hot, produce a lot of heat. Bandage is coming undone there. So I don't think we'll get into any yellow today in this session. I think I'll probably work sort of right up to the yellow and then get to that later. See, as I said, the sky is kind of going to start curving this way because that's where the wall hits it. So yeah, I'll probably work sort of right up to the wall, but not the wall yet. Sort of fill this in, the rest of this sky, and a bit of hills next to it, and then I will work on the wall again. Yeah, it's funny. My as I mentioned, my husband's family's from Hungary, and he said, yeah, in Europe they don't. It's a big deal to drive more than like 20 minutes anywhere. Yeah. He said when they were kids, yeah, going even to just the next town over was like a big production. Yeah, now in Canada, yeah, his parents will drive 15 hours out to see us. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because I have friends who live in like big cities in the US, and it's like, yeah, they don't have to go more than a few blocks to find something, you know. And I say, and then my husband is like, you know, that morning we'll be like, yeah, I gotta drive 3 hours to, you know, such and such town to deal like on a moment's notice. And yeah, we're used to it. He kind of always goes over the lease amount on his vehicle because yeah, he has to travel to so many sites. And they're miles apart. I mean, the furthest one he has is going way up north, which is, yeah, hours away. Although this time he's going to fly. Yeah, sometimes he drives because, yeah, to ship equipment is very, very expensive. So it's cheaper in the long run if he just drives it in himself. Because otherwise, if you're shipping it, a lot of stuff is shipped by air. And of course, yeah, that is cha-ching, not cheap. Yeah, he says he has to get really used to it because, you know, everything costs like 3 times as much because it all has to be flown in. So, yeah. Quite a few raggedy threads today. Having to trim those. Yeah, so I think there's a bit of vine here. And then wall. But as you can probably see, if you look at the pattern there, there is a lot bigger blocks of color. That sort of daisy stitch symbol. There's quite a bit of it. So that should make this go by pretty quick, I'd say. So yeah, we're past 19.5%. So I said 21, we'll see. That might be cutting it a little close, we'll see, but that's okay. That one is unthreaded. So what I'm hoping is to reach quarter done by the end of next month. So by the end of October. That'd be cool. So, but would definitely reach it before the end of the year. So yeah, my favorite is when I reach 50% and pass it. Yeah. The halfway mark is always exciting. Okay, unthread that for a bit because, yeah, I'm going to come up to the top and start working my way down again. Okay, 37.46. So getting into some purple again. I haven't worked with this color since I finished up the last pass. Yeah, so that'll be 2 done, and let me see. Seven more to go. Yeah, because there's 9 total. So, but all my subsequent passes will be 60 rows instead of 70. So, yeah, they should go a little faster than these ones did. Although I did have most of that big corner done too before I started, all that white. So yeah, I won't really have a super accurate timeline of when I did this since I didn't work exclusively on it. Although I have my spreadsheet, so I can kind of give an estimate of how many days I worked on it. Yeah, but then again, I didn't keep track of my stitch count when I was doing that big white corner, so yeah, I'd still be guessing somewhat. Yeah, so if I follow this curve, there will be a little bit of closing in stitches as the two curves kind of meet, but that's okay. I often say if there's a tension line because it's right along where there's a color change, it won't really be noticeable. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work right up to where the yellow starts, cut it off there, and fill this all in, and then start filling in the yellow afterwards. Oops, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Yeah, I was posting on my Facebook page about why did no one tell me Supernatural is so freaking funny. And I had someone say, I guess I should try it again. And I said, well, yeah, give it a bit, because I said it took me until about halfway through the first season to really get into it. She says, oh, well, I kind of read while I'm watching TV and I wait for it to capture my interest. Like, man, okay, I can do many things at once, but that I can't handle. I used to read, but this was in the days of cable when you had to sit through commercial breaks. So yeah, I would knit while the show was on and then pick up my book and read while the ads were on and then switch back and forth. But I said, but yeah, I stitch while I watch TV. So, you know, I get it. Sometimes I don't always tune in. She said, oh, you know, wow, that's impressive. It's like, well, but I get bored just doing one. Yeah. I often say that's why I don't read as much, because I kind of have to be doing two things at once. But I mean, they have to be compatible things. I can't read and watch TV at the same time. That's too much. Okay. Yeah, so we got some purple here to break up all this blue. Yeah, somebody said, oh, it's going to break your heart later. I said, well, that totally sounds like my kind of thing. So that's why Deep Space Nine is my favorite show. It's got dark overtones, but so many laugh out loud moments. And yeah, there are episodes that if I even think about them, I'll start tearing up. So that's totally my thing. Yeah, I want my emotions moved. In fact, I don't mind if they pull out my heart and stomp on it. I'm weird that way. Yeah, because my husband will find me crying over something. Why are you, watching or reading that? You know it's gonna make you cry. I'm like, yeah, that's why I read it, or watch it. Like, come on, I cried at the movies on our first date. You should know that about me. I had to go buy some headphones the other day so I could have them for when I'm practicing my piano, and it was hard to find any that weren't Bluetooth because my piano's old and it does not have that capability. That did not exist when I got that. Yeah. Yeah, it's an electronic one, which is nice because, yeah, I can use headphones and not disturb anyone else when I want to play or practice, but yeah. And then nobody makes the cords long enough. Got one and it didn't say how long the cord was, so I was hoping it would be a decent length, but yeah, it was 4 feet long, which is not really long enough if you want room to be able to move your arms around while you're playing and not, accidentally unplug it. So I'm going to have to go buy an extender. Yeah. My old ones had a 6-foot cord, which was perfect. But yeah, they eventually broke. So. But yeah, there's a real range. Everybody was selling these big high-end ones. Like, I don't want to pay $300 for a pair of headphones. Jeez. Yeah. I'm not, doing sound mixing for a living or anything. I don't need anything that high tech. Yeah, so I think this color here is going to branch off further down. gets interrupted by other colors. So yeah, if you've watched me before, you're probably used to that. Yeah, so with these bigger blocks, we should make some good progress today, I should think. Yeah, sorry, my furnace is being really loud today. I don't really know why. The last couple of days. Sheesh. Yeah, once the air actually starts blowing, it's not so bad, but before that, it seems to be throbbing really loud, and I don't know why. There we go. Forgot to bring my water bottle over. Oh well. Guess I'll just go without till I'm done. Don't feel like getting up now that I'm settled in. Oops. There we go. It's hard to tell whether that's rain clouds outside or just all smoke. Yeah, either way, it's not nice. I did not have many blue sky days this summer, that's for sure. Yeah, although not as bad as there was a few years ago. One day, the wildfire smoke got so bad that all the streetlights came on. It looked like it was like late at night. It was that dark. It was wild, and it was high noon. Yeah, it was bizarre. Driving home from work with, yeah, my headlights on and all the streetlights on. Yeah, it was a very weird experience. Yeah, it's kind of like we had a solar eclipse, I think that year, or maybe the year before that happened. So yeah, it happened in midday, so again had to drive home with the lights on. Yeah, Oh, pardon me. So yeah, these are kind of light gray here. That's where it gets into the wall. So I'm gonna go sort of right up to the wall with the blue. And then I'm going to make a break there, and it's, like I said, it's gonna curve, follow the curve the other way, like I did last time. Yeah, or like I did when I did the top of the peacock's wing, same thing. It was curving the other way, and I just followed it. Yeah, I've seen some where people are extremely strict and they never deviate from their diagonal, but that's not me. I'm not that disciplined. Oh yeah, past 100 stitches already. Not bad. For only about half an hour in. Yeah, these big sections can fly on by, which is nice. Yeah, sometimes I wonder if I should even bother leaving my diagonal lines on Pattern Keeper, since I don't really follow them that closely. Kind of gotten used to them, so. Yeah, so I finally got to see the ear, nose, throat specialist yesterday, and yeah, they were running late, as they always are, so I arrived at 10:30. My appointment was for 10:45, and yeah, I had to sit there until 11:30 just for him to say, yeah, the results of your hearing test look good. I said, yeah, it's been better. I don't, really hear much humming anymore. And basically said, yeah, it'll probably completely clear up on its own over the next, couple of months. And if it gets worse, come back in. And that was it. So I was like, okay, I waited an hour for that. But at least I don't need any kind of surgical procedure or anything. So pardon me. I guess I won't complain. If it cleared up on its own, that's a good thing. So, yeah. Yeah, he was another one who remarked on how good my hearing is. Yeah, like I say, I can always hear stuff other people can't hear. Yeah, so I don't know if it was fluid behind the eardrum that finally drained or if it was just a physical thing, because yeah, the audiologist says that sometimes when the hearing is affected by the ear infection, it's like it turns it up even higher trying to compensate, and then yeah, you can hear everything, your blood whooshing through your veins and stuff, and yeah, it takes a while for it to sort of come back to its normal equilibrium. So yeah, it's one or the other, or maybe a combination of both, but yeah, at least it's not bad anymore. I missed silence so much. Oh my gosh. Because yeah, I was having to use brown noise to drown out the buzzing and humming in order to sleep, so it meant I never heard silence. Yeah. Now I'm back to, I can use earplugs to sleep, and yeah, it's been better. So, oh, silly me, I went to all the trouble of getting a new thread, and there was already one parked there, and I even marked it on my pattern, just was not paying attention. Yeah. Yeah, and the ear, nose, throat guy just told me to avoid caffeine, which I said was no problem since I cut out coffee years ago. So yeah, I don't drink tea. When I do drink tea, it's herbal tea, but I don't really drink it that much anymore. And yeah, I don't drink pop either because that gives me headaches. So yeah, the only caffeine I might get would be in the form of chocolate, but I don't eat that much. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna have two threads here, since this color branches off around sort of this other blue here. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to split the two up. So park that there. Do this color, which looks like I can end off that thread. I'll probably be able to take it out of my working tray soon because it looks like I don't have more of it for a while. Although my tray is only half full anyway right now. There were not very many colors the last section, so let's take a look. Oh yeah, there's a little bit more of it down further, but not for a while. But I don't really need that space in my tray yet, so I won't bother removing it for the moment. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go up to the blue, and that'll be where I make my cutoff. Oh, we passed 60,000 total. Yeah. So actually we'll be further than 61,000 if I want to reach 21%. So yeah, that maybe have been a bit too ambitious. We'll see. Well, we'll get what we get. So reaching 61,000 should be no problem. Yeah, 20% might be a bit more than that. Be a while till I get to that color, so It'll be a while because I gotta go over to the left again and start filling my way out towards that right-hand edge. But yeah, this is past the halfway mark on this. Oh, missed one on this pass, because I believe that's around 275, and this is line 320 right here. So yeah, we should reach the far, finish this pass by the end of the year is my estimate. Because yeah, that's still 3 months. So I think that is doable. I guess 21% would be around 63,000. So yeah. Yeah, another 3,000 by the end of the month might be a bit more than I can manage. We shall see. But again, like I said, there's a lot of bigger blocks here. There's the sky, and then there's some more bigger blocks in the wall. So yeah, we'll see. I must realize that one's marked as done by accident. I must have hit it with my thumb while I was, yeah. Sometimes because the check mark is kind of partially on the pattern, sometimes you can accidentally, yeah, select a stitch next to it while you're pressing the check mark and mark them off by accident. I can usually tell because it'll be just one lone one by itself, and since I stitch with parking, yeah, I'll know that wasn't right. But it wasn't actually completed. Yeah, so maybe I should readjust my estimate to 20%, might be more doable. We'll see. Okay, switch colors again. Yeah, let's see if this is long enough to do all the ones I just highlighted or not. It'll be cutting it close, I think. No, I think it might be just right. Which will actually work out nicely because I'll start a new thread in this corner and just kind of carry it outwards the way the color flows naturally. seems just right. Perfect. Use that preloaded needle that I accidentally did earlier and then didn't need. Oh, what is going on? How does it have a knot already? Pete's sakes. Okay, well that's irritating. So much for that. I must have got it tangled around itself when I put it aside. All right. I figure since I haven't actually secured it yet, might as well cut that knot out and restart. It was a small one and I probably could have kept stitching with it, but like I said, since it wasn't yet fully attached to the piece. Yeah, we're gonna blast past 200 stitches in about an hour, which is nice. Squeak a couple more stitches out of that, so I think I'll go up to the top and fill in a bit there too. It's getting really windy out there, although my son's weather alarm thingy hasn't gone off, so probably not in for much of a storm, just maybe a bit of rain. Yeah, seen a few people getting their roof done, trying to rush to get it in before another winter hits. Yeah. Yeah, we replaced ours about 14 years ago, and it's like a 50-year roof, so yeah, we should be good. Yeah, our neighbors across the street, they have an aluminum roof, and it makes the snow slide off it quite easily. And yeah, the only problem is that means it dumps a ton of snow sort of like in front of their front door, so they can't really use it. Yeah. Yeah, we lived in a place, the PMQ, the military little ranch houses for married people. And I think we had that kind of roof, and we had a major snowfall, which was unusual for where we lived. And then, yeah, one day in the middle of the night, I heard this like roaring sound. Woke me up. I was like, what the heck was that? And it turned out it was all the snow was sliding off the roof at once, because there was like 8 inches of it. And yeah, it was a very weird sound. And then, yeah, we had to use the side door because the front door was blocked with the snow. But yeah, this roof, the shingles we have, it doesn't do that. We would have to have a ton more snow for that to happen. Man, I remember they discovered building my mom worked in, the main support pillars were not like bolted in or like, you know, in the ground. They were kind of like sitting on top of these like metal supports or something. And so they discovered that, yeah, if there's more than a few inches of snow, the building was in danger of collapse because, yeah, it wasn't very well built because those pillars could slide under the weight of it. So, yeah, it was nuts. So they had to have drills and stuff. Everyone had to carry a whistle, and if they noticed any signs of the building starting to buckle, to, yeah, blast it and warn everybody to get out of there. Like, gee. Honestly, I don't know how they were allowed to keep working in the building, but I guess that was the 90s. Maybe it was, the regulations weren't as strict because, yeah, the building that my husband and son worked in this summer, it was abandoned because they discovered black mold in it. And they took some pictures because, yeah, there were like dishes left in sinks and clothes on the bed and stuff because, yeah, basically once they discovered it, asbestos and black mold, it was like, okay, get out now, as if the building's on fire. So, yeah, when they had to work in there, they had to wear full hard hat and face masks and gas masks and, yeah, everything to avoid breathing it. Yeah, my husband said it was nuts too because yeah, there was things saying that like the biometrics they use to unlock your phone are not as secure as a passcode, because, yeah, he said without thinking he picked up his phone and held it in front of his face to unlock it, and he couldn't believe that it unlocked when he was wearing, you know, safety goggles, hard hat, gas mask covering the lower half of his face. Like, what on earth was it even recognizing that it would unlock? Like, yeah, it's really random because I've had sometimes it won't unlock if I'm not staring at the camera, even though if it's in front of my face. And but then other times, there was one time I wasn't staring at the camera and I like picked it up without thinking. I was eating a big digestive biscuit hanging out of my mouth, so it's like, you know, covering my chin and everything. My phone's still unlocked. Like, what? Yeah, but if I don't wear my glasses, it can't recognize me. So, yeah, I do have to wonder how accurate the facial recognition really is. I mean, my face is still my face whether I wear my glasses or not, right? Although I did hear they had been working on getting phones to unlock while you were still wearing a mask because of during the pandemic, but yeah. Yeah, it's so random. But that's the thing, they said, like, passcodes are more secure because like a 4-digit passcode has 10,000 possibilities. You know, you add another digit, that's 100,000 possibilities. You add another digit, that's 1,000,000 possibilities. So yeah, way harder to break than somebody trying to fake your face or whatever. So I guess people don't like putting in a passcode. They'd rather just pick it up, you know, and use your fingerprint or whatever. I actually kind of preferred the fingerprint to my face. I found it opened more easily. But, yeah. Although, yeah, I had one time I picked it up and it's like, why won't this open? And then I realized, oh, you have a bandage on your finger. You can't read your fingerprint like that. Duh. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Now we're closing on 250. That just flew by. Yeah. These big blocks. I like how fast they go. Yeah, it was funny. There was a tweet going around for a while. A lady, like, basically being horrified that her husband had her in her phone as her first and last name. I was thinking, well, what else would you put? You know? And so they said, yeah, it seemed people were pretty divided. Those who thought, well, of course, you would have it, you know, as their name, and people who were horrified that it wasn't a pet name or something. I said, well, I don't get that. I said, everybody is in my phone as their name except for my in-laws. Yeah. Because I don't call them by their names. I call them mom and dad. So, yeah. But I said, like, I don't put my sister in my phone as sister because I know who she is to me. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Or then when people come and they change the names of your contacts. Yeah. There was one and it said, you know, so somebody said somebody changed all my contacts, you know, texting, who is this? And it says Darth Vader, who is this? I am your father. No, really, who are you? No, actually, I'm your dad. It says, did you change this just so you could make that joke? It's like, yep. Next level dad joke. What was it? Somebody said, my dad walked in and said, what do you get when you cross a dad joke with a rhetorical question, and then walked out? It's like, okay, yeah, that was meta. That was a dad joke to the next level. Well done. Okay, so I may use 2 threads here because this is a big area and it kind of has other blue scattered through it. We'll see. I'll decide as I stitch. At any rate, I've got to fill in a bit here first of this other color for a while. So tie this one off. So it's out. Thought I'd switched to markup mode there, but I hadn't. So this color here. Yeah, I think I will divide it up. There's enough stitches there that I think I would use up 2 strands either way, even if I was skipping and leaving gaps, so. Right, I don't want to actually stitch that one yet, just park it there. You can hear the wind picking up there. It's, yeah, flapping around my kitchen vent cover there. Yeah, or I might have a way to work around with one strand. We'll see. Because I don't plan that far ahead. First, I'm going to fill in some more of this one here. Yeah, so today I positioned my camera a little further from my work so I have more room for my hands so I'm not bunking into it like I was last time. Yeah. Ooh, pardon me. Oh my gosh. Yeah, don't be doing that on me, please. Don't want any snarls along the back. Yeah, actually, I think I can see a way I can do this without having to add another thread, possibly. So we'll see. Yeah, sometimes when I'm stitching, I can see a different way travel my thread than I thought at the beginning. So make sure I grab the right one here. Yeah, actually, I can kind of stitch this in both directions, I think. Yeah, so I didn't actually have to add another thread. I just kind of couldn't see that till I was actually stitching it. Oh, we are going to pass 300. Wow. There we go. Skinnier one for my 18 count. Oh, still doesn't want to go. There we go. Yeah, a couple different sizes of those snag tools. Smaller one for my 18 count so I don't distort the holes. Yeah, bigger one for the 14 count. Okay, do a little bit more with this other strand, and then I think I'm going to take a break there because I'm getting too thirsty and I forgot to put my water bottle nearby. So yeah, I made sure I had my scissors, but I completely forgot about my water. We did put up a nice number today, over 300. Ooh, let's not have that. I don't know how that happens. Weird. Okay, park that there. So 331. You know what? If I do these 2 stitches, it'll be 333. I like numbers like that, so why not? Let's do these 2. This is a bit of a longer carry, so I'm gonna do a pin stitch here to tack it down so it won't pull loose until I get to it. There we go. So there, 333. Pretty cool. So yeah, as usual, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you here again another time. All right, thanks everyone. Bye.